Well, hi Mangoes, how are you all, buddies? Welcome back, or welcome if you're new to my channel. This is just one of those little funny things I thought about letting you know. It's basically well, it's about my childhood school days. It's not going to take too long, hopefully, because I don't want to bore you. But it's just a funny side of Lady Night as a childhood and teen. Here we go. I was at primary school, and I was like, this would have been about 6, I think it was, and it's sports day. Now, I'm excited. I think I'm going to try and win something. Now, my mum, she decided not to come into the school grounds to watch me. She didn't want to, not really sure why, I never figured that out too much. So she's said where she was going to stand. It was like a slopey type uphill bit, and it looked down onto the school ground. And she stood there. She said, "Oh, wait, I'll look from here and see you." So I left her there, went into the school, and then we come out onto the grass, and it started the games. Well, I was in for the egg and spoon race. Now I remember I was in the lead, and I was doing really well. I was going carefully, and I could see someone next to me, but then I thought, well, I can do this, I can hold this egg and spoon, and I will win this race. And then suddenly, back of my mind, I thought of my mum looking down at me, and I was feeling real proud that I was leading and could win. So yeah, I did it. I turned around to see if I could see her up there looking down at me. Yeah, next thing I knew, there goes, egg on the floor. Of course, it was a wooden egg in those days, it would be. So they all went past me, and that was it. I went home later, and I'm going home, and I got home, and I could see that my mum's kind of face didn't look right. She'd had some sort of injury. And I looked at her, and she goes, "It's your fault." Apparently, after sports had finished, she turned around to head home, and where she was standing watching me, yeah, she'd bumped into the lamppost, and she'd hurt her eye so bad. And she's blamed me for it, but I'll never forget that day. The next event, this is kind of more weird. Went to school as normal, primary. I was about 8 years old for this one. And the bell rings when it's time to go out for break and lunch, yeah? So the bell rang, and we all left the classroom, head into the playground. And then I left the school ground. The bell had rung, so I'm leaving the school ground. Time to go for lunch at home, which you could walk home to lunch or have it at school. So I was not that far away kind of thing, but I used to walk home about 10 minutes, something like that. And I started to walk along, and I suddenly realised I couldn't hear any of my friends behind me laughing and chatting or whatever on the way home for their lunch. And I turned around, there was no one. And then I realised what had happened. It wasn't the lunchtime bell where you could go home for lunch. It was actually the morning break when you go out to play. And I thought, oh no, what have I done? I've got to go back to school. No, I didn't turn around. I was too scared to turn back, walk into the school grounds in case I got in trouble. So I went home. Anyway, the family were there, obviously. Whatever. So, yeah, they contacted the school, and I'll be back in the afternoon. And then one of the teachers in the class, she said, "Look me in the eyes and tell me, did you really think it was lunchtime?" And of course, I had really, really believed it was a lunch bell. So I said to her, yes, looking her in the eye, I really did think it was time to go home for lunch, dinner, because we called it dinner in those days. So yeah, that's 2 of the primary ones. Now going on to the teen ones at secondary school. Obviously got different names for different countries for schools, but that's what we kind of call them over here, primary, secondary, that kind of thing. So I got into a fight with someone. Basically, there was this annoying girl, isn't there always? And she'd be a bit of a bully and stuff. Well, she was like starting on my friend. So I'm like, hang on a minute, this isn't right. So I said something, and then she kind of pulled onto my friend's coat. So then I pushed onto her, and she hit me back, and I hit her. Next thing I know, we're both on the floor, and I could see from the corner of my eyes all the other, the other classmates all scattered around looking, shouting out like they used to do, fight, fight, fight. And I could feel the agony of my hair being pulled, and it was painful. And she had kind of hair that you couldn't really pull and grip. So I did the only thing I could do to fight back and defend myself. I started digging my nails into her. And then the teacher come along, split us up. We had to write down a thing about what was going on, what caused it, whatever. So I basically said I've had enough of her. I was just defending my friend, whatever. And she was like showing all the class afterwards, look what that beep and my name did to me. And she's showing off her hand and come up to me with it. And I thought, yeah, my head still stings when you're pulling my hair. And I remember I was like crying like a baby in the nurse's room, and she was going over there and stuff. And then we were both upset and everything. But yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, that was a moment. And the girl I was actually stuck up for in the end, I still remember her name. You always remember the names of certain people. She never did thank me for defending her and sticking up for and helping her. No, she didn't say, oh, thank you so much, that's so kind, you got in trouble for sticking up for me. Not a sausage, not a thank you, nothing. So, yeah, unfortunately. But on this last bit, before you get bored, guys and girls, a best friend at secondary school, we all have them. The problem with this one is that she was, she was kind of with an older person that she shouldn't have been with. So she was a naughty teen at school. And I kept saying to her, you got to stop it. Your mum and dad will be so angry. They don't know about him. And, so he was older and she was only 15. And it was like, and I'm saying, no, stop it, please. But she wouldn't. And then one time, I was around my nan's house at the time because I was like living there with my mum. And the phone rang and it's my buddy's mum. And I was allowed to answer the phone in those days. So I answered it. I said, no, she's not here. And she was like, and then I was getting a bit like whatever on the phone. So my nan came over. She said, what? No, your daughter's not here. And then I got off the phone. She said, oh, apparently she's told her mum that she's staying around here. Now, she wasn't. She'd gone out with the older boyfriend, who was about 5 years older than her. Maybe 6. I know, and she's a naughty thing because she told her mum and dad that she'd be staying over with me overnight at my family's house. So anyway, the next day, there was a bit of friction between us, and then we had a fallout. I was so annoyed that she did that, and she was more angry with me. She said, why didn't you just lie and say I was there? I said, no, I'm not going to lie. You weren't with me and you shouldn't be with him. You know that. You could have just lied. I got in serious trouble because you said that I wasn't, that you were sleeping over. Sometimes you have to do the right thing, whether it costs a friendship or not. We made up after that and become friends and then lost touch after school. But yeah, sometimes in life you have to do what you feel is right at the time. I could never have lied and said, yes, she's here, apart from the fact that I didn't have any warning from her saying, oh, she rings, could you just say I'm there? But no, and I still would have said no, because I'd have got in trouble or something. Anyway, yeah, but that was the childhood and teen days of just examples of what Lady and I went through. So as you can see, everyone has their issues at school and all these kind of things. There was like hiding all my shoes and pulling on my belt for my coats, and then have to stand up to those bullies and stuff. But yeah, it is hard, but they're still good memories, so that's the main thing. So, okay, Mangos, well that's it. That's a bit of a life story of my Ladyknightbg's early years. I hope you enjoy listening to the funny side of things that can happen. Hope some of the stuff on there I said will help you for any issues you have. Maybe you could think about something, maybe help someone in a way, even though it may be hard to make a decision that you have to help them in a certain way. But I think you know what I'm trying to say. Do the right thing. Just give it a bit of thought before you do the right thing. But like they say, the right thing is the right thing. Anyway, stay safe up there, guys, because it's still one hell of a boom town.